Do you like playing with colours? Today at the new Inspiration Challenge at Altenew, I'm going to show you how I was inspired. Hello and welcome, it's Therese and I have a gorgeous card to share with you today using the Magnolia Ballerina set. Now this actually has a large stamp set with some great sentiments on it, as well as a coordinating die. I'm not going to be using either of those today. I am going to be focusing on using the Botanical 3D embossing folder as well as the simple colouring stencil set. These sets coordinate and I thought this flowers, I thought they worked perfectly with my inspiration photo. I have a folder here with all the Altenew colours stamped out, and when I'm choosing my colours I can simply go to that folder and get all my inks out in preparation rather than trying to choose them along the way. I will list all the colours that I've used today in the description below, as well as at the blog post, which will be also listed in the description below. So this is a layering stencil set and actually is numbered, so I'm using stencil number 1, and for the grey that I've chosen from the inspiration photo, I have got the rock collection. I'm just using a couple of different colours here. The flower, I want it to be white like my inspiration flower, and I just love these flowers. They don't last for very long. It's actually a fruit flower called a dragon fruit. It's a tropical one and was taken in our backyard. We have a couple. They're really unusual plants, but an amazing flower like you saw. And I thought this Magnolia Ballerina just was like the perfect fit. Obviously you don't need to use a flower that looks the same. It's actually a color inspiration challenge, so you can just use whatever stamps or images or die cuts or whatever you need, but just see how you're inspired by these colors. It's amazing when you can have a look at these combinations, what people come up with. I just love visiting the gallery and seeing what you've created using the colors from the photo that I took. So I'm onto the second stencil here, and I have grabbed the darker grey, which is the silver stone color, and I know it looks kind of not like it's white, but bear with me, it will look whiter when we're finished. The grey is just going to give the magnolia flower the depth for each of the petals, and I could actually do it a different way. I did think about colouring the embossing folder itself and adding a background colour. That would look amazing too, but I pretty much just wanted to stick to colouring the flower and keeping the card nice and clean and simple. So I'm on to the third stencil now, and I didn't mask off the sections here, and I should have. I did get some over inking, but I'll show you how to fix that in just a minute. But when I added the greens for the stem, I did remember just to add a little bit of, I've used just some low tack tape here, but you can easily just use a post-it note. Even a piece of copy paper would work. Something to protect the portions of the image that are the different colors. And you may also notice that I'm coming in and adding a couple of different colors to the stencil just to give it a little bit of depth. I like to add the lighter color first and then come in and add the darker color. Isn't that amazing? But we're going to take it to the next level, because guess what? This embossing folder coordinates with the actual image. But to make it fit, I did have to cut the top of the embossing folder away, and then it was just a matter of lining the image up with the image on the embossing folder. I've also had a few questions about embossing folder sandwiches with the 3D embossing folders, and on the Big Shot I find that tab 2, and then I put the embossing folder directly onto tab 2, no bottom plate at all, and I put my base plate on top of the embossing folder, and that just prevents it from catching as I'm feeding it through and bending my embossing folder. I said, since I've started doing that, I'm having much better results and less paper cracking. I am using the 80-pound Nina. Now this little bee is a layering stamp from an older set called Wild About You, and you may notice in the inspiration photo there is a bee. I've actually done this card very similar to the inspiration folder. I was actually quite inspired by the photo. And I hope you are too. But you certainly can just use the colours in whatever products you have and however you are inspired. So I use the coordinating die to cut that out and run it through my mini blossom machine. And I thought it'd be fun to add some jet black ink splatters, not many, just something to add a little bit of interest to the background. And I like to cover the important sections of my card that I don't want to be splattered, because you can guarantee it is going to land exactly where you don't want it to. So I just use a scrap piece of paper over the center of my flowers. My sub-sentiment today I've taken from the stone mosaic set and stamped it with some obsidian black ink and cut that down. And my main sentiment today is from the bold greetings die set. So I cut the word hello out 3 times and laid it up. And this is how I fixed my over inking. I simply came in with the white pen. This is one of the must-have gel pen sets. It's got white, gold and silver, and I literally just drew over and covered up the over inking, and then used some of the foam tape to pop up both my hello and my sub-sentiment in the center of the card. I also came in and popped up the bee as well on the front of the card. I thought this could make a birthday card or even just a fun greeting card. Now I do hope you're inspired today, and I really loved playing with the coordinating stencil and embossing folder set, but you can use whatever you have. And if you do try out these colours, then share them with us at the challenge and you might win a prize. Look forward to seeing you there. Till next time, bye.